This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Jonathan Wenkowski from Bessemer Museum. Hi, Jonathan.
Good morning.
You know, talking to you just before we started taping, it made me think, all the wonderful events that have been going on since we got our new digital planetarium. I mean, you're hearing about different moons and different meteor showers and different things that happen that we never really knew about before, never had the information on it. To me, that's just amazing. We have a dark sky preserve. We have the perfect area to see things. So thank you, Jonathan, and the museum for bringing all of those wonderful things to our attention. I always look and check for all the different moons and things that I never even knew existed. Thank you.
You're most welcome. It's my pleasure to bring that information to the public.
And speaking of that, there's going to be maybe a planet we can see?
Well, more of a comet.
A comet, okay.
Which is a little bit different.
Yes.
You can kind of think of them like giant snowballs, actually.
Okay.
And there's one kind of approaching the sun right now.
Ooh.
Yeah. So astronomers with telescopes that can see such small objects have been looking at this comet and saying that it's starting to get bright and it's growing a tail. So hopefully we'll be able to see it here from Earth with the naked eye, but comets can be very unpredictable. So at best, we can at least hope that we'll be able to see it with binoculars sometime this month or early next month.
And we'll look forward to seeing that information because I know you'll post it.
Absolutely. As soon as anything new comes up, I'll be putting it on the Planetarium Facebook page to make sure that as many people know where to look as possible.
Okay, what else exciting is happening?
Sure. On top of this comet, we have the best meteor shower of the year happening in only a few days from now.
Okay.
Yeah, on December 13th and the 14th, we have the Geminids meteor shower, which is sometimes known as the King meteor showers, because at its most exciting point, you can see 120 to over 200 meteors per hour.
Wow.
Yeah, it's remarkable. And this year, we're going to be trying to host a bit of an event for the meteor shower.
Okay.
Now, right now, we have 30 slots open for people to show up on the 13th and take a part of this presentation that I'll be giving in the planetarium.
Okay.
It's free, but we'd appreciate if people could leave donations for us of $5, as we're taking our time out to provide this to the public.
Right.
After that, I'm going to be getting my telescope and heading to Rockport, and if the weather's clear, we'll hopefully see a whole bunch of meteors that night.
Ooh, how exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Last couple years we've tried it, the weather's canceled us out, so here's hoping that this one works.
I hope so. That's very exciting, but it's not something you could see with the naked eye?
Well, the meteors are visible with the naked eye. They happen pretty much all the time as these tiny little space particles burn up in the atmosphere. I just like to bring the telescope to see other cool stuff while we're watching meteors.
Wonderful. So what else is going on?
Sure. Well, we have this, of course, Season of Light exhibit that we're very proud to present to the public. We've been working on it literally since around Halloween, getting things set up, and it's finally come together. And now anybody can just go to the museum and see our Winter Wonderland for himself.
So what will we see?
Well, we have, of course, the staples of every year, the Tree of Nations, where we set up different cultures and countries' sort of Christmas trees, which is just sort of a way to show what these different nations do for Christmas. We have our community trees, which of course are provided by different organizations around town. And lastly, we have plenty of new stuff, which I'm not going to spoil for you, but it's just spectacular. Everybody who shows up is just in awe of these brand new exhibits that we've put up for this year.
And so what times can we come to see planetarium shows?
Planetarium shows for this month are going to be at noon, 1:30, and 3 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday.
Perfect. So it gives everyone a chance to get there with their family and see the winter sky and the holiday season and see what's going to be there.
Absolutely. We got lots of Christmas stuff, plenty of different shows and content to talk about.
Okay, let's go back to the comet. So what is a comet actually?
So a comet is a bit of an interesting object. Like I said before, it's kind of like a dirty snowball. And what this means is it's made out of ice and rock. And when that ice, of course, gets too close to the sun, it starts to heat up and evaporate. And that's what causes this whole comet tail that we see, is that evaporated ice mixed in with all the dust and other particles on top of it.
Okay, very good. And now you had gotten your brand new beautiful telescope. Has that been being used a lot in our community?
Well, we've been trying to do lots of events with it. We held those astronomy and ales event with the brewery. We did a meteor shower watch party in the summer as well, but things were really cloudy for a while, so I'm hoping it'll clear up next year and I'll be able to do all sorts of free and paid content for those around here.
And like I said before, when we started, for the opportunity for people to do things like that and see things like that, it's pretty remarkable.
Absolutely. We're the only digital planetarium north of Bay City, and as far as I know, not too many people even have access to the digital telescope or even tools that we have to explore the night sky.
Okay, so the best way for all of us to find out what's happening at the museum is the Facebook.
We have a Facebook page, which we update daily, and of course, bessermuseum.org is always going to be a great stop as well.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Jonathan. Please relay our Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to all of the staff back there. Thank everyone so much for everything that they're doing to bring the wonderful displays and exhibits to everyone in our community. It's greatly appreciated.
No, thank you for having me, Nancy.
Thank you, Jonathan. I'll be right back following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Cindy Deroser, AD at ACC and women's basketball coach. Welcome, Cindy.
Well, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
It's basketball. Thank you. It's basketball season. You're right in the thick of it. Give us a little rundown on how things look from your view.
Well, I think we're off to a decent start, and we have 3 wins under our belt already, so that's a real positive, and we're pleased with the aggressiveness of our play, and so we're strolling along here. So
yeah,
we're on a 1-game winning streak. So
wonderful. Well, we had a home game here about a week back against Mid. Which is a very, very powerful women's team and a pretty powerful men's team. We lost both games, but particularly the women's game was close. Your team played, in my view, very hard and very smart and very together.
Yes, they did, and I was proud of them because a week prior to that we had played at Mid, and we didn't play so well. And so to see us, we're blown out of the game. To see us make a comeback and focus and make the adjustments of what we needed to do was a big stride.
And who are some young women on your team that our viewers might recognize?
Well, we have from returning and who played here in Alpena, Molly Gerard at the guard.
Yep.
Molly's been a great athlete here in Alpena and met multiple sports.
Yes.
Jade Schultz, who was our freshman of the year last year in our conference.
Pivot player, wonderful player.
Yeah, again, a multiple sport player. And Allie DeRocher.
Yeah.
Coming in as a freshman and starting to make some big strides too. Coming off a volleyball season here. And then Melanie Morrison from Hillman area, stepping in as a freshman and giving us some good play. Linnea Wenkowski, sorry if I botched that a little bit, from Rogers City is now in her 2nd year and giving us a real spark too. So Jordan Kabilas from Atlanta. So we,
you have some local kids.
We have some good local kids, and then some not too far away. Keegan Fisher, I think a big thing people may not know, that some people got a third year this year.
Yes.
Because of COVID and last year and playing with the mask. So and Keegan falls in that category and really has been playing point guard for us now for 3 years and given us a lot of leadership there. And then Maddie Wilkinson from Kalkaska's, another top freshman that stepped up. So we have some really good athletes this year, and it's a pleasure to work with.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you back in the coaching ranks.
Yeah. It's not as easy as I thought, as I remembered.
Well, things get harder as they get older sometimes.
Yeah.
As you get older, but you had referenced something. It's a little off topic, but about volleyball. Yes. And women's volleyball, and you know, we had some of our players receive quite a individual recognition for their excellence in that area. Could you touch on that?
Yeah, we did. First of all, our volleyball season had a great season. They had 4 wins this year, and you know, it's tough. We always play double headers. Just because of our travel. The other teams, when they play, they only play 1 game. So, and when you take a year coming like this, where our bench wasn't real deep, that really, so that was remarkable. And I think we only had 2 home games, so we did a lot of travel. But so touching back on the awards, Allie Deroser was named on all freshman team and all conference. And then Kate Skiba, Ariel Varela. We had 4 others that were on Alexis Varela. Let's start naming them off. On the honorable mention team, the Varela twins from Johannesburg, and Avery Zip from Charlevoix area. So we had
well represented.
We were well representative.
Can we jump to your athletic director role for a second?
Okay.
There is talk, I think it's more than talk, that North Central Michigan College is creating athletics pretty similar in the sports that we have. Yeah. And will that change kind of how the conference is laid out potentially?
Perhaps, probably especially in basketball. They're looking at, I've heard nothing official, but it is official that North Central has added sports.
Yes.
They've added men's and women's cross country, men's and women's basketball, and I believe volleyball.
I think you're right.
And so yeah, they're all accepted into the conference and region, and will be competing this fall. They've hired even their men's basketball coach already, which is interesting because his son's on our men's team right now. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that'll give us some close games.
Yeah.
There is some talk of realigning the conference because we do have a large conference. Kirkland's bringing back basketball. Bay's been looking for a conference for a while, so there's talk of maybe a North, East, and West, which would realign the conference. So,
I'm sorry.
But nothing official yet. So.
Okay. How far north, or how far south, if there is a Northern Conference, would be the southernmost school?
Perhaps Mott.
Oh.
Lansing. There's talk of.
Oh.
So. But
yeah, that would be interesting.
It's in the talk stage right now of what, because there are so many teams. Already there was 32 teams in our region, so it would change. We're the largest region in community college, so.
Really?
Yeah, so.
Well, I think what people may or may not understand deeply is enrollment at every school is extremely challenging. I mean, with the pandemic, like many things pandemic related, it's accelerated a process of challenging enrollment times. So Petoskey and North Central would fit into that absolutely. And so what a lot of schools are thinking through is athletics can help us with enrollment.
Correct.
And
I think enrollment and engagement.
Yes.
Yes,
indeed. Well, we've got about 30 seconds left. We have, and this will air on Sunday, but we have a reunion alumni game this weekend.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. Our alumni are excited. We have quite a few coming back, so we look forward to that Saturday afternoon, and by Sunday they'll probably have some sore muscles.
They probably will, and some stories.
And some stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Cindy, for everything you're doing. Doing a great job coaching and with the AD and with the housing. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you, folks, for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.